Hi, guys, and welcome to Charisha's Technique. Today, we are going to do our nails with false tips, so stay tuned. Right now, I am just getting prepped, getting my monomer um, ready, poured out into the provided glass, and checking my nail tips to make sure they fit my nail beds. Um, I do this first just to make sure that I'm organized and I don't have to spend too much time trying to get my nail sizes together. And also during this stage, I will be prepping my nails. And what that entails is just buffing my nails with my nail buffer and also using my dehydrator on my nails and also my primer so that the nails will adhere and the acrylic will adhere very nicely, and that helps to have long lasting nails. And I started doing my own nails last year. I had been going to the nail shop for a good 20 years off and on. Um, but recently, in the past couple years, the prices have become way too much for my budget. $100 here and there for a full set, as well as my pedicures, just got to be too much. And after watching others do my nails for 20 something years, I just went on and figured I can go on Amazon and do these things myself. So, right here, I am just opening my nail glue stick that came with my kit, um, and getting ready to actually put on my nails. This was a test run here, and it was just so I can see how long the glue took to um, nail the nail down. So um, here I'm using my dehydrator. I do the dehydrator first, let it dry, and then I move on to my primer, and that would be best for your nails to stay on. This particular set of nails stayed on for about 2 weeks. Here I have some UV protection gloves that I wear when I use my UV lamp just to protect my hands from any damage or additional UV rays. I think it does work. Um, a little bit of protection wouldn't hurt either. So that's just what I'm doing here. And now I am applying my false tips. Okay, so I started with my right hand first, applying my false nails to my right hand. I am right-handed, so it would be easier for me to apply to my left hand um, last. But you can apply your nails however you would like, whichever hand first, just whatever feels right to you. And the whole reason I'm doing my nails um, is because it's a stress reliever for me. Um, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I work. It's just a lot going on, and I like to be cute as far as my nails. So that's what I do in my spare time as well as other things. So here, I tried it a couple different ways. I tried applying the nail to the actual false nail and putting it on my nail bed, and I found it easier for me to do it myself by just putting a small bead of nail glue onto my natural nail where the acrylic nails will go or the false nails will go. And um, it was easier for me to do that when applying to my left hand just because um, it was just easier, to be honest. So that is what I am doing here. So I just kept going until that was completed. And it gave my other fingers, my other false nails, time to adhere. And then it doesn't take that long. So then I moved on to cutting my nails with this nice little pair of cuticle scissors, I believe they're called. Um, I cut them down to the length that I like. Um, but I noticed that you should cut them down to a workable length for you. And once you already have those long nails on, it's easier to cut them down. Here I am opening my acrylic nail powder. I believe this is the pink or the natural. I'm not exactly sure which one I have. I had quite a few in the kit that I bought, and I am just wetting my brush and dipping it into the powder. And it is going to be a little bit watery after the liquid touches the powder. So you just apply it to your nail. I apply in the middle and just move out. It may be easier for you to apply to the bottom of your nail bed by the cuticle first and move away from it to the top. But either way, I am not a nail tech, but I'm just doing what seems to be correct. And that's all you have to do. Like, since it's a stress reliever for me, I'm figuring it out as I go. But I have tried other nail kits before, like the gel nail kits, and the acrylic is actually much easier to use for me, in my opinion, just because you do catch it before um, it gets too hard and it's a little more pliable before that point of it drying all the way. And you just use a layered technique where you keep going until you get the look that you want, and you just layer and clean up around the edges as you go. So that is the best um, way that I know how to do my own nails. Now, it can feel a little awkward at first just because you're doing it yourself. It's not, someone else is controlling your fingers. And since this is the time where I am shaping and molding my acrylic on top of my nails, um, this is the time that I would also be listening to a nice little playlist, getting in the zone, focusing on my nails, um, just reflecting on the rest of the day. Um, but this is focus time right here. Um, you just think about your blessings and that you have this little time carved out to do something for yourself and feel good about yourself. Um, Work on your nails, get them the way you want them to be. And like, this is a stress reliever for real. Um, you really have to take care of yourself. And this is one of the ways that I take care of myself. I mean, when I did this video, I was going through a lot as far as at the house. The job was getting on my nerves. My kid was getting in trouble at school, and just because he's talking, and if you're anything like me, um, stress can get to you. You know, you have all these things going on, and you're expected to be this superwoman. You're a wonderful wife. You cook, you clean, you do what you gotta do. You also work, and people can be peoply. They can have bad days, just like you're having a bad day. And especially in retail, um, they can take it out on you. And for me, you know, it's a hard time in the world right now. Um, I left a corporate job to pursue my creativity. And in the midst of all that, I also um, pretty much adopted my husband's son, and he's my baby now. You know, I'm a boy mom, and I love both my boys to death. But yeah, they can get on your nerves. Um, and it doesn't matter how loving or caring they are, sometimes it's too much. Women deal with so much. And I just want you to know, like, take some time for yourself. Be mindful of your emotions and how things are going for you. Be blessed, be grateful, but everyone gets frustrated. And for me, this is a stress reliever, like I say so many times. Um, if you don't want to use doing your nails as a stress reliever, hell, do something else. I paint, I draw, um, I create things. Like I'm doing this video now because look, everybody gotta have a outlet. And if you don't have an outlet, you will have emotional problems at some point because the stress gets to be too much. And yeah, people can say, you know, I don't want to do this or stress isn't going to bother me. But I worked in social services for 10 years and we are all going through it. A lot of mothers don't realize how much they go through um, on a day to day basis, but you are molding a little person. You know, you have to deal with their ins and outs, like their attitude, their emotional well being is taken into consideration. But you also need to take your emotional well being into consideration when you're trying to help your child, help your husband. And I'm not saying that all husbands are in need of help, but I don't think all husbands realize how much, you know, your wife really does for you. Now, my husband, I love him. He is my best friend. We've been together for a long time. We've been friends for over 20 years. We met in high school. Um, we went through the ups and downs and everything. And we finally, got it together and came back to each other. And it's a beautiful thing when you really start to get down to everything and you realize that, you know, we need to be at home together, and home is where your heart is, and you know, love on your people, love on your boys, love on your children, and don't forget about yourself. Like you have to be good for everybody else to be good. So be good to yourself. Anyway, I'm done with my rants. So right now in the video, I am using my nail drill to shape and get some of the bumps and humps out of my acrylic. It is pretty much dry right now, and it dries very, very fast. So get you a very coarse nail file, and a nail drill is ideal for the outside of the acrylic where you may get little humps and bumps, like I said. Um, but the coarse nail file, this white one that I'm using, that one is easier for me to get my edges around the nail because sometimes they can get pretty sharp. Um, and you just go in with that. You just go back and forth until um, it shaves down some of the sharp edges for you. I also use that to shape the sides of the nail where the nail starts and my nail bed is up in the corners of the sides because you don't want those to be too thick to where it looks bulky on your hands. So now I'm just using different nail tips for the nail machine to get any excess acrylic that I had on the inside of my nails, on the palm side to make sure that, you know, it won't snag or hit anything and rip my nail off. So right here, I am just putting down my base coat. This was a little later in the day because I had to stop and we had to eat dinner and stuff. But anyway, I'm putting down the base coat. I put my UV gloves back on because I'm using the lamp. Um, and then I let the lamp go for maybe 90 seconds to get the base gel um, cured. And then if it was still a little wet, I put it back in for 30 seconds at a time after the initial 90 seconds. So I do my base coat on both sides, both hands, um, and cure them for the time that I stated. And it comes to the point in the video where I guess I need to tell you, um, I do have an accent, and I'm from Georgia, Atlanta native. So my accent comes in and out. Sometimes it's country, sometimes it's a little more urban, sometimes it's my corporate voice. So just so you know, that's what's going on with my voice. But here I am doing Galaxy nails. So when you buy the Galaxy kit, if you decide you like this color, you put black down for it to look like Galaxy and have that holographic kind of look. But I decided that I'm gonna put black down for the Galaxy on most of my fingers, but my ring fingers or my forefinger, I guess, I put white down. And when you put white down as your base with the nail polish, when you put the galaxy or that holographic nail polish on there, it'll look mermaid like instead of the galaxy look. So do what you will, but white will just accentuate the holographic look, and then the black will, um, well, they both accentuate the galaxy look, but white will look mermaid like, and black will be galaxy. Um, so anyway, just go on, paint your nails. Um, it's soothing to my soul. And as far as this channel goes, what I will be doing is just different stress relievers for myself. And you can follow along. You can like, share, subscribe. Mostly I will be doing nail videos like this, or I make braided wigs. Um, I found some wig caps that are really nice that are already sectioned off for braids and things to that nature. So I made me a cute little wig. It's an ombre, black top or black roots. Then it goes down into a blue, and then at the tips is purple because I love purple. And I'm not afraid to wear some color in my hair. I'm just creative like that. And I like those colors. But anyway, I'm just giving us ladies some ways to reduce stress that are cost effective, and also, it gives you something to do that's not taking care of everybody else. And yeah, that's what my channel is about. This is my first video, and well, not my first video. I had Sister Locks for like 12 years, and I did a lock journey situation, but I have since cut them off. I cut them off right after I got married in 2020, and um, just decided it was time for a change. So I cut those off, and that video is over 10 years old. So Um, I took it down, but if anyone wants to see it, I will put it back up. Um, so I'll just be here with you. You need a stress reliever. Come on over to my page and see what I'm doing. Um, but yeah, so take a look at my nails. You can see a little bit after painting and curing, um, that they are very pretty. So I'm gonna go on and wrap it up. Um, I did add some pictures at the end of the video of what I used. I'll also link that in the description. And just a few pictures of the finished product so you can see how pretty they really are. I relieved my stress for a little while until I had to get back to it. But I work in a frame shop, so these lasted about 2 weeks. But I regularly have nails pop off when I'm putting together frames or cutting glass or using a dry mount or doing anything. So, you guys, like, subscribe. I appreciate you coming through and hollering at me for a little bit. If you have any questions, send me a message. And thank you so much for coming through today. I really do appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you like my content. And I'll see you again. Thank you so much. I'll holla at you.